It would seem that the Admech have dug up some fairly dangerous Lascannons for their chicken walkers in the new codex. Hello and welcome back to Auspex Tactics, where today I thought we'd take a quick look at a leak from the new Admech codex. As seems to be the tradition these days, we have another datasheet from packaging, this time looking at the Sindonian Dragoons and Ironstrider Balistarii. The Balistarii in particular are one of the staple Admech competitive units right now, and though they'll likely be losing access to their rerolls and things, it seems that they're going to have their firepower tuned up quite a bit. Let's take a look at what we've got. So here we have the new stat lines for the Dragoons and the Ironstriders, and first up it does seem that both of them have got a bit of a durability boost, going up from a 4+ save to a 3+. I guess they are vehicles, so a 3+ save wouldn't be too out of sorts. It does seem like a little bit of a strange change though. Typically 4+ does seem to be a bit more common for vehicles with an exposed crew compartment. In any case, will certainly help them out a bit against small arms and any anti-tank fire with middling AP. We don't know whether they're going to keep their 6+ invul save yet. That remains to be seen from the codex. It seems that in terms of raw damage though, both sets of Ironstrider guns and the Dragoons melee weapons all seem to have got a tune-up. Perhaps most interestingly, it seems that the Cognis weapons are now going to be assault weapons. They used to be essentially assault weapons, but took a -2 to hit penalty when they advanced. I think just making them flat out assault weapons is probably a good move. That way you might actually think about advancing them, as typically you usually wouldn't have otherwise. Otherwise, their twin Cognis autocannons are essentially 2 suppressor autocannons strapped together. You get a whopping 6 shots out of them, so that should put a fairly respectable dent in light infantry and 2 wound infantry such as Space Marines. Not bad at all, particularly seeing as the autocannons were already quite a tasty loadout for them. Quite surprisingly though, their twin Cognis Lascannons do seem to have picked up D3+3 damage. That's a change that I really wasn't expecting, to be honest. And it'll be interesting to know whether that's just an upgrade for the Cognis Lascannon profile, or whether it's just a datasheet specific upgrade solely for the Ironstrider Balistarii. I'd be very surprised if that was any sort of generalised change, updating Lascannons throughout the game. I know Games Workshop did update several weapon profiles with a Wargear FAQ, but that was right at the start of 9th edition, and I feel like the vast majority of codexes must already have been planned by the time that was happening. In any case though, even if it is just for this datasheet, it makes them really quite a fearsome tank hunter again, which isn't bad to be honest, as the Lascannon variant was falling behind the autocannon one quite a bit. I wouldn't be too surprised if the autocannons and Lascannons both had a similar points cost in the new decks. It seems that you do have a decent trade-off between being quite good against anti-infantry to being an all-out dedicated anti-tank platform. Moving on to the Dragoons, which I think did need a bit of a helping hand. Again, they do get the durability buff, but they also have a couple of extra benefits, including an extra attack going up to 4 from 3, and their Taser Lancers jumped up to Strength 8 AP -2 rather than Strength 8 AP -1. As it's a Taser Lance, that'd usually be exploding 6s as well, with 2 extras on 6s. So you could maybe expect something like 2 dead Space Marines, or around 4 wounds on a toughness 7 vehicle from the charge of a single Dragoon. Perhaps still not getting up to the sheer hitting power that they could have, when you could get +2 to the hit rolls with the stratagem, and that would also trigger their extra Taser Lance hits, but still it seems like they're getting a sizable boost on what they were before. If you're fighting against a 3+ save target, then between the extra attack and the extra AP, you're getting around about an 80% buff on what they were doing previously. That's definitely going to stack a fair few damage to wounds. Finally, for stat line changes, the Radium Jezzail, the sniper that the Dragoon can take, that's now Heavy 2, Strength 5, AP -2, Damage 1. The big change there being that it used to be AP 0, so perhaps it'll be a little bit more efficient chewing through characters. Still though, unless it's massively cheaper than the Taser Lance, I think it's hard to pass up quite that many Strength 8 AP -2 attacks. Of course, it's impossible to say exactly how strong they're going to be within the new codex yet. Currently, Admech can stack some really quite scary reroll auras and also base strength buffs onto their guns with the Mars Canticle, and it seems very likely that these guys aren't going to be core, so aren't going to be getting quite as liberal rerolls as they did. I'm sure the Ironstriders in particular will be hoping that they retain that stratagem that allows them +1 to wound. I think that's been one of the main keys in their success ever since Psychic Awakening Engine War. So anyway, let me know what you think about the improved gun profiles and the amped up Taser Lance. Look forward to having a read of your comments down below. If you've enjoyed the video and you'd like to keep up with the Admech news and rumours as they come out, feel free to subscribe to Auspex Tactics, and I'll certainly do a full review of the codex when it drops. Finally, if you would like to help support the channel, I would just like to mention that Auspex Tactics has a Patreon page, which you can find down in the video description. Channel patrons do get a fair few advantages, such as seeing certain videos early, regular votes to see what sort of things come next on the channel, and automatic entry into the monthly prize giveaways with a chance to win some big model kits each month. If any of that sounds good to you, or you'd just like to help support, then the link is down in the video description. In any case, a massive thank you for listening, and I'll hope to see you guys next time.